We've got our Zippo lighter here, so why don't we do a quick project to close out the weekend. So we've got our lighter here. Pretty simple, basic Zippo lighter. Nothing fancy about this one. Very plain. So we're going to go ahead and make a case for it. Let's see what we can do. We'll take a very small sheet of leather, get started. Before we start cutting on the leather itself, let's make our pattern with a piece of paper. Take this sheet here, fold it over, and make sure we've got the right size. Kind of crush it around a little bit. We'll make something shaped sort of like that. So with the paper in place, I'm just going to trace the basic shape of what I want. Start here at the edge. Work our way around. I think I want a loop up here at the top. Another flap on this side here. Trace it on the back first. Transfer that to the front. And there we go. That's the basic shape of my pattern. I cut out the pattern and now it's time to test fit with the lighter. Just to make sure that I've got enough room all the way around for all my stitch lines. My one little flap is going to come across the top here. I'll probably put a snap or button or something on that. We'll get to that later. But this is the basic design that I'm going for. Looks like everything ought to work out. Now let's just transfer this to some leather. Note that I'm transferring this to the flesh side of the leather. That way everything will work out and fold around the way that I want to, and the proper side of the leather will be exposed when I'm done. So let's get this taken care of. It's all transferred. Let's cut it out. So here's our basic design. This will be the outside. This will be the inside. You can see the lighter will fit in here just like that. This little thing will flip over like that. And then our closure will fit just like that. There we go. So basically right now, it's just time to shape it out and start to stitching. Before we start stitching, we need to get our trigger clasp here. That's what I call these things. Slip this over this part here. That way I can size this and know exactly where my stitch line needs to be. And then that'll fold over. Hopefully you're starting to get a better idea of what this is going to look like. This part here is going to have a button on it. Lighter will sit down inside. And that's going to be the basic design. So pull this out. We'll get it under dye and knock in some stitches. I went with one of my favorite colors of dye on this project. It's an ox blood. This is the Fiebing's Pro Dye. We'll grab the little clasp thing here. I think the color is going to set it off very nicely. So the clasp here has been sewn into place with just a few stitches, as you can see. Very clean. And again, this is going to fold over. Grab our lighter again for sizing. Fold over like that, close like that. And then this will be able to be clipped onto a belt loop or whatever, your bag, backpack. But I kind of got this planned for more like a belt loop type of a thing. Thought it would be pretty cool. Let's keep working. I knocked in the stitch line down both sides. All we got to do is sew it up. We've got the rough stitch pattern in here. I think it looks pretty good. Nice and tight around the lighter. It's not going to accidentally slip out for any reason. Now all I need to do is cut a groove across there and then put our closure on. Trim up the edges. Style it up a little bit. We ought to be just about there. So I'm just going to eyeball this, kind of freehand it. Draw a arch across this section here. Far enough away from the stitches so that I don't interfere. But this is designed so that you'll be able to push the lighter out with your finger from the bottom of the case once I cut that out. So it's just going to be a little half moon. We'll cut that right out of the corner. No problem. So there's a rough look at that, all cut out. Don't worry, we'll get it all cleaned up. Everything's coming along nicely. We still need to do something with this other edge though. So I've rounded the edge there, cleaned that up a little bit. Looks nice. I'll be able to push that out just fine. As you can see, kind of finished that up, sanded it a little bit, reshaped this section here where the snap is going to go. We'll do a little fine detail work on that still. It's coming along nicely. All of our edges have been touched up. I'm going to still take a slicker to those for quite a bit longer and smooth them up really good. But I think it came out very nice. All I have to do now is put on the snap. So here it is. This is our finished Zippo lighter case. You can see I cleaned up those edges. Everything's nice and slick, nice and smooth. Much better finish, front and back. Here's our clasp. You can see I went with a buffalo nickel snap on that. I think it looks pretty good. I think that will fit this lighter just about perfectly. Again, of course, leather's going to stretch a little bit, so it'll work out with the time. And there we go. Pretty cool. I think it turned out pretty nice for a very easy project. This will make a great gift for somebody, or maybe just something to have yourself. So that's it for this video. I hope this gave you some ideas of how you can make a quick and easy case for your Zippo lighter. And if it did, well, you know I'd appreciate that thumbs up like. Feel free to give me a comment down below. And maybe, just maybe, I'll see you on the next video. If you enjoy videos about the randomness of our amazing world, consider clicking on the globe to subscribe, or maybe checking out one of the other videos right here.